Hello, everyone. Ink. What? That is the screenshot that pops up on this video. Watch. Just watch. On Facebook, on YouTube, on everywhere. Watch. It is the screenshot of me sneezing that comes up. Just watch. I guarantee it. It's going to be the screenshot of me sneezing. So anyone that goes to the video, the first thing they're going to see is me probably mid-sneeze. OMG. Why did it have to come out right as I hit go live? That is so jacked up. Hello. Thank you for the bless yous. All right. Hello, everyone. I can't believe that happened. Really can't believe that happened. Well, hello, all of you guys who are peeking in, who probably won't be here long. I am Shakia. I do sell custom items. If you're into sublimation, go ahead and stick around. If you're not, if you want to just be nosy, hello, how are you? Because quite a few of you guys, new live, probably on your For You page. Thank you, TikTok, for putting me on the For You page. But to all those who are there, I am a creative business strategist, and I help other creative business. So if you're thinking about ever starting a business, you may want to stick around or at least hit that follow button if you're just being nosy over here and you're just kind of scrolling past. But if you ever think about starting a business, I would be your girl to follow. All right. So we got that out of the way because they won't be here for long. On TikTok, it kind of gives you a false sense of you're doing amazing, because as soon as you kind of go live, you end up with a lot of frigid people kind of like on there saying that you have all these viewers, but then they really don't stick around. So, I just kind of talk to them while they're there. But your girl has a lot of, I help a lot of creative business people start businesses to do t-shirt lines, and we sell Sublimation ink and paper, the best in the industry. So we help people with starting businesses and creative business, starting businesses, doing event planning, party decor, t-shirts. I've had people in my creative business that does candles and soaps and things like that. So I help a lot of people with branding, marketing, just getting started, understanding your numbers. We do this amazing thing called Profit by the Numbers. So if you are kind of just scrolling through and you ever think that you may want to get into business, make sure that you go ahead and hit the follow button so that if it is like a dedicated business chat, you're on. I know you guys are here, but we're still building over here. It's a lot more people watching over on TikTok. So we're going to just talk to them for a minute while, it builds over here on Facebook and YouTube. So I do have 2 successful YouTube channels. One for teaching Silhouette Studio, which we're going to talk about today as a graphic designing software. As well as Honestly Speaking, where I teach you to do things like t-shirts, sublimation, eco-solvent, vinyl. I have 6 cameo machine. So I am that girl when it comes to silhouette cameos and Silhouette Studio. So hello again. It's given it time to kind of do its thing over here. So let me reintroduce myself. My name is, I love Agent Balon just did a video because she is now one of the hosts on E-News Network, on E-News. And I thought her intro, like her announcement video, was so freaking dope. Agent Balon. So hello, everyone. Welcome to another live with Shakia, the professor of HS Inc. 365 LLC. We are the parent company of Silhoueholics Anonymous, where I have been teaching you guys how to use Silhouette Studio as a graphic designing software. And I do a lot of other things with it. Like, that's why I have 6 cameos. Everything from creating templates for foam board creations like 3D models, creating cutouts for parties and centerpieces, using it for flowers, the paper flowers, like the really, really big ones that you see. I've used Silhouette Studio and my cameos to create all of those things. I am one to where I think I've kind of dabbled in a little bit of everything. So you can always kind of ask me questions about those things, because I probably have done them at some point or another in this whole journey of learning Silhouette Studio and using my 6 cameos. All right. All All right, if I can get you guys to just go ahead as you jump on, just let me know where you're watching. Just a simple comment to say hello, drop a an emoji on there. That definitely does help the algorithm and kind of push the video out so that others know that, hey, she is on and she is here to help. So if you guys can just say, hey, drop an emoji, hit that like button, the love button, or go ahead and share it out. If you're watching the playback of this, still interact and engage with us and let me know where you're watching from. Just go ahead and put that in the comment section. The engagement after the live is done is also very helpful. So if you love your girl and you want to help your girl out, go ahead and engage with the live broadcast, whether live or during the playback. All right. Cameo 4 plus 2-factor, huh? Wait, I'm missing something. I think I missed. Oh, how do I reset my Cameo 4 to new? Okay, I'm not sure what you mean by reset it, but give me a second. I will address that in just a moment. Let me just get through the introductions here. And also, we're going to go ahead and share it out. So definitely share this out. Hello, I don't have any knowledge of Silhouette. Just brought a Cameo 4. Did you buy the regular 4 12-inch, the plus 15-inch, or the Pro 24-inch? All right, hi, Hans. How you doing? That's one of my day ones. How are you, love? Okay, so just give me a moment, guys. I do want to share this out. So let me go ahead and do that. See, now everyone wants to write. I'm interested. I was actually going to do a one-on-one with someone. I was trying to find, those who really needed help with something specific. So yeah. Okay, let's go. Let me find this so that we can share it out. Let's see. We're going to go ahead and hit share. It did it. It gave me this one. Yay. I thought it was going to be look, I'm so happy, y'all. Hold on. Let me flip y'all around. I'm so happy that it didn't give me the crazy looking one. Look what it gave me. I can deal with that. I can deal with that one as the screenshot that it gave me because I thought it's going to catch me mid sneeze. So I'm happy with that one. All right. Uh-oh. I should have typed this out beforehand. All right, so let's copy that and then paste. I need to reset my Cameo 4 Plus. I tried to calibrate it and now it won't print and cut correctly. So there's really no such thing as a reset. Child, my headband is in the way. There is no real thing as like a reset. So I'm going to ask you a few questions and we're going to figure out what's going on with it. But there is really nothing to reset it to as far as like your like factory resets and stuff like that. Now, if you try to calibrate it with doing like the printouts of it and trying to get it to line up, let me tell you, that really doesn't do much to it. So it's probably just in some other setups and ways that you kind of have it set up. So give me one moment. Let me just get this all shared out. I'm going to ask you a few questions, and hopefully we can get you up and running and get your print and cut working correctly for you. And then you said, okay, so the plus, so you have a 15-inch and you're using the 15-inch mat. What first, so while I'm kind of doing this, let me know which mat you are using with your Cameo 4 Plus. The 15 by 15 mat, a 12 by 12, a 12 by 24. Which mat are you using? All right, just give me one more moment for me to go ahead and get this all shared out. And if you guys have groups, hit that share button. All right, so let's thank you. Incredible evening. Incredible evening. Hello, fellow Floridian. Hello, another Floridian. Hello. From Cali, from Memphis, Tennessee, Texas. You have the 12-inch machine. All right, awesome. Okay, so let's go ahead and do a little what they say, like a little couple little house rules here. So this is a Q&A, right? You guys will get as much out of this as you put into it. Yes, your girl has a lot of knowledge, but if you kind of just sit back and watch and wait for somebody else to answer a question, to ask a question, and you're just going to kind of sit back, you may or may not get a lot out of this. I would, as much as I like to see amazing numbers and have the numbers be high, I come on here live to help. So if there's no one that actually needs help on the live, it makes for a live with a bunch of frivolous and like just kind of boring. It's like, it's just dead air. These lives are meant to help you guys. All right. I have classes and, I sit down and I plan out, like it takes a lot of work to sit and plan out content, to plan out classes. And, I'm not trying to sound kind of, like it's about money, but when I'm doing that, it's because it's going to make me money. This doesn't really make me money. Even though I'm monetized on YouTube and Facebook, I really do this. I just consider this to be like free. Like this is truly free help. So take advantage of it when I am live and I'm offering up help. Because if you guys just kind of sit there and you just kind of watch and don't ask anything, then it's really no need for me to continue to do these if you guys aren't going to ask questions. So be as engaged as you possibly can. I know some of you guys might still be at the workplace. If you are driving, do so responsibly while listening to me. Don't try to text and drive. Want to put that disclaimer out there. But I do want you guys to be engaged and get the help and assistance that you need in whatever stage or whatever level you are in. If you are just starting, if it's still a hobby for you, I can still provide help, insight, and guidance for you. If you are doing this as a business, and just whatever level you are at, feel free to, you just kind of having some trouble, like you're ready to throw that Cameo machine out of the window. You're ready to just shake your computer screen because Silhouette Studio is acting up. This is your time to get help. I am the best at this. No one can top me. You're not going to find better help than where you are at right now. Okay. So with that being said, let's do which one? Okay, so let's kind of come over here. So she says, I use the 15-inch mat that it came with. What size paper are you doing a print and cut on? That's another one that's really important. What size paper? Let's see. I made a shirt with dark transfer material and now my friends and family want shirts. I'm kind of nervous. Ooh, why are we nervous? Obviously, it must have come out amazing because now they want shirts. So why are we nervous? Let me know. Talk to me. Why are we nervous? So we can kind of shake some of those nerves off. All right. So you don't have any knowledge and you just purchased a Cameo 4. The one thing that I kind of push is the machine can only do what you tell it to do and what you give it to cut. The machine is simply a cutting machine. That's all it is built to do, is to find those lines and cut it out. If you don't set those cut lines, if you don't have it there, like, that machine is really pointless. So the most important thing that anyone who spent any amount of money on a Cameo machine, whether it was used, if it's a new Cameo 4 Plus or Pro, the best thing that you can do for yourself is learn the software. That is the brains of the operation. If you don't know how to put files in there and set files up and size them or separate them, set up your print and cut, set up your registration marks, that machine will do absolutely nothing. A lot of people will go and say, I want to learn how to use a Silhouette Cameo. And that is the wrong thing to really search for, whether you are searching for YouTube videos or you're searching for classes, because all the machine does is cut. The only thing that someone can teach you when it comes to the machine is how to change your blade. Even when it comes to, you have to understand force, how to load your mat. If you're someone that was doing all paper, you might be a little confused on how to load HTV with or without a mat. That's all like you need for the machine. It's learning the settings, learning how to load a mat, or just load media. Everything outside of that falls under the program. We have an amazing 30-day training that takes you top to bottom, A to Z, for pretty much every single tool in Silhouette Studio, every function. And I teach you not just the how, but the why, so that as you're going through things, and let's say you might make a mistake and hit something wrong, you'll eventually start to learn like why that happened. You can easily undo and then correct it. You'll know like the things that you can or cannot do in the system. So if you have not gone to our website and checked out the 30-day training, it will be the best $83. You took the time to spend the money on the machine. Just go ahead, find that we have Sezzle, so you can break it up, but that will be the best $83.65 you could ever spend. I feel like Silhouette needs to have me on there, and it's like, look, if you buy this machine, you also need this course. Like, they literally go hand in hand. You got to learn the program first and the tools and functions, because if you don't know that, you can't create anything on the web, on the design page. You can't size it properly if you don't know where those tools are and how to use them. So that will be the first thing is, I'm not sure which channel you are on. We have a Silhouaholics Anonymous channel, which focuses mainly on Silhouette Studio. Today, I am streaming to both Silhouaholics Anonymous and Honestly Speaking, just in case we get like some sublimation questions or paper craft questions and things like that. But if you're on Silhouaholics Anonymous, go through. I have 7 years of content, and you can learn from that. If you don't want to take a class, it's just not structured. It's going to be all over the place because I have some beginner stuff, some advanced stuff. Some things are not everything. That's the thing too. If people think that everything that's on YouTube is meant to be beginner friendly, it's not. I have different levels of it, but the 30-day training is for beginners and beyond. I have people who have used Silhouette Studio longer than me, and they said they learned so much in my 30-day training. So that's the first place that you're going to start. The next thing, so I can kind of guide you to maybe some great tutorials and things that you like, tools that you need to focus on. Let me know how you plan to use your Cameo. Like, when you thought about buying one, what is it that you ultimately wanted to produce and create with your Cameo machine? So answer that for me and we'll come right back around to you, okay? What does compound path mean? Man, that is a loaded question. In a nutshell, what compound path, okay, so it does a couple of things, right? If you have things that are separated, if you make it a compound path, it makes it one, so where everything is basically connected as one piece. So you can have things kind of all over the place and they will operate as one. When you fill it in with color, it's gonna treat it as if it's like one big picture, even if there's gaps in it. So that's like the first thing. If you're needing to connect lines and stuff like that, you make it a compound path. It's one, it's going to connect. If you have something like text, and let's say it's a letter A, everything, every design, every letter, everything is made up of shapes. So we have a letter A, whether it's an uppercase A, it has lines to the outside, and then there's a triangle in the middle. If it's a lowercase a, there's a circle and a line, and then there's a circle in the middle. Well, in order to have that circle in the middle, in order to have that triangle in the middle, it's a compound path. Those are two separate shapes. The outside lines, and then the one that goes across, and then there's that middle part as a compound path because they are one. That middle part is cut out. Once you release, you can release that to either remove that, and let's say you're doing an all-star design, all-star cheer. So you want a star in the middle of that A instead of the triangle in the middle of the A. You release compound path to put a star there. You then make it a compound path. And when you make it a compound path, they become one. And anything that is directly on top of it will basically create a hole. That's kind of sort of like, I mean, it's a lot of different things. If you trace, once you trace something, you release compound path so that you can get all of the shapes. If you want to create a frame, you make it a compound path so that it becomes a frame. It's not a one size fit all. It's not this is one thing. That's why we have a whole day in the 30-day training that is dedicated to teaching you about compound paths. I used the 15-inch mat it came with. All right. All right. When you say that the cuts are all the way off, it might be how you're setting it up. So I'm going to go through and I'll show you a print and cut. And as I'm going through it, let me know, like, I need you to comment, okay, check, I have that done. Check, I have that done. If I get to something I'm saying, okay, it has to be like this, then that's like, okay, that's where I went wrong. But normally it's not the calibration that's going to cause it to be off. Okay. Let's see. I need to be better at turnaround time and charge them fair price. So your turnaround time is really going to depend on, like, I mean, if you have other orders, is your turnaround time affected by the fact that you're still learning? I mean, it's okay. There are some people that say, hey, their turnaround time is 2 weeks because for them, it might be they have a bunch of orders. So before they can even get to yours, it's going to be 2 weeks. How fast can you design? If you're not busy with orders, your turnaround time is just going to depend on how fast you can actually design. So if you don't know the program, you're going to spend a lot of time in there trying to figure things out and tweak them, and that's going to increase your turnaround time. So if that is your situation, the best way to improve your turnaround time is to actually learn the software and get better with designing, being repetitive. If you tried something once, if you traced something 2 months ago, I need you tonight, this weekend, sometime, trace it again. In 2 weeks, trace it again. Every single time you do it, you should be getting a little bit faster, a little bit better. It should become like clockwork to you. I find that the majority of the time, what happens is we do it one time and think, oh, we got it. But then when you have to come back and trace something else, you darn near lose, like you forget about everything. How you're going to get better is just being repetitive, doing the same thing over and over again. If you took my 30-day training, don't just go through it one time. Go through it and then go through it again. And each time you should be able to get through those worksheets faster and faster and faster and have a clear understanding to where you can pretty much do it with your eyes closed. Wait, okay. I think split 15. I'm not sure if you were responding to something I said or you had like the first part because you said and type of paper used. So I'm not sure if you were responding to someone else or I missed part of yours because I don't see it there. I can tell you her sublimation paper is the best. I got my Cameo Plus to print and cut larger eco-solvent picks. Trying to save, should have got. I will say not really. I mean, the Roland BN20 is okay. It's a better printer. I'm glad that I did not really get my Roland BN20 to do print and cuts. I wanted it to be able to do eco-solvent prints, to be able to print onto vinyl and stuff like that. And I'm glad that I went into that with that mindset, because I actually don't really care for the cuts sometimes with the Roland. We actually, well, now it's getting better. So we spent, and I wish I don't know why I did not show it. You go through a lot of vinyl when you're trying to calibrate it, because when they're doing the test, like it's 2 squares on one side. So we went through a lot of vinyl trying to get the lines to, like the marks to line up, and you have to go in and like that's one when you really calibrate it. I'm still a little bit off, but I got frustrated. For that kind of money, I was frustrated with the print and cut from it, and it prints really slow. I would much rather have a halfway decent printer and do them with my Cameo. I mean, yes, with that, you can do longer runs, but it prints super slow and it cuts slow. So for me personally, I'm a little bit underwhelmed with the Roland BN20. Now, some of the larger ones, I can't wait to get a larger Roland. That's a good starting point. Amazing printer. But as a print and cut, if you were doing it for production, like speed and faster production, it's not the machine to get. I'm being totally honest. It is not the machine to get for high production. All right, so we're going to come and we're going to do some print and cut for you. Advice to craft while working full-time, managing hours. Ooh, that's a loaded one. We'll probably have to do a dedicated session about that one. Okay, so let's come back over here. Where were we? Hi, Shakia. Is there a way to crop multiple images? Nope, it's not. Nope, it's not. I'm going to need to read the rest of it. No, you cannot. And I do this, and I try to mention this anytime I do a cropping video. You cannot crop multiple images at all. You would have to do them one by one, or once you have it laid out how you want it, you can save it as a JPEG, and then like them all together, it's flattened. You can't go in there and edit them and move them. It's flattened. Or the other thing that you can do is use your knife tool, but you have to be very careful with where you line that up. But you can use your knife tool if it's just a straight line. But it's like a contoured or like a odd shaped outline that you're trying to crop to. Nope, you cannot. If it's a circle, nope, you cannot crop multiple things. No way around it. Took your class and I loved it. Can you tell me the best cardstock, like weight? I don't understand weights of paper. There is no such thing as best cardstock. They all serve different purposes. I'm not one that really likes the 110. It's a little bit trickier to cut. So I'm not big on like the 110. Some people like heavier paper. I'd rather do what's called matting, where I basically glue either 2 papers together back to back, or, you know, if it's like a backing to it, and then I have like a top piece and I'm just like building and building. And I like liquid glue because it makes it stronger. A lot of them, I have different papers for different reasons. My ones for chip bags, I don't want that to be heavy. I want that to be a thinner paper. So I think the one that I have is like a 28 or a 32 photo paper. And then that's the other thing too. You have cardstock, and some people will say cardstock, but it's not cardstock that you are using. It's photo paper. And the way that photo paper is weighed or the measurements for it is totally different than cardstock. Some people they're like heavy stuff, like let's say like a business card. That's not cardstock, that's cover stock. There's a lot to paper. I love it. Like I geek out about it. It's something that I've researched, and I love looking at paper and buying paper and trying and understanding paper. The average person, they're like, okay, wait, that's just too much. But I'm not trying to like dance around it, but it really is true. Like you have papers that are linen, you have papers that are coated and uncoated. Photo paper is different than cardstock. Cover stock is different because you're going to have like point size for it versus like 110 pound or 65 pound. Even with 65 pound, one of my favorites is Recollections, but some of their papers are super, super smooth. Some are almost like construction paper where it's like kind of grainy. I mean, there's no perfect size paper. I need to know what it is that you're trying to do. I have a ish load of paper all in different weights and they serve different purposes. So yeah, I don't have just one single weight that works for everything. Classes are awesome and full of details. You won't be disappointed. Slice tool. How can I change the thickness of the slice to make it super thin? Now that's one I can do right now. We're going to still do your print and cut. Don't worry. But I want to kind of go through that one. I'm going to see what else is on here. All right. So let's go file. Open. Oh, wait. Also, it's also not slice in Slow Studio. It's your knife tool. We have to use the right terminology for the program that we're using. So it is going to be your knife tool. If you ever look for tutorials and you're talking about Silhouette Studio and you're wanting to do you put slice, you're not going to find anything because there is no slice tool. It's your knife tool. Now, the other part of it is, what are you trying to do? Because if you're trying to just cut something and just want the line to be thinner, if you're trying to do like I wish I had one in here. Like I do like print and cuts, like cutouts. And let's say I was doing Minnie Mouse and I want to do her as a large print, but I need to separate her head from her clothes. Well, that's not your knife tool that you're using for that. Well, at least I don't teach to use your knife tool. So I do kind of have to know what it is that you're trying to do because there are going to be different things for different projects or different ways to do it based on the project that you're doing. Let me see. I want to pull something. Okay, let's do the toddler princesses because I can do knife tool. I can do a little bit of print and cut over here for you. So let's do that. I think opening up this princess one is going to be the best file to open. All right, let's flip y'all. And now I told Even to come get me at 6:30. So we're going to have to, I really didn't think y'all would be on and really ask questions. And so he's going to be mad if he comes at 6:30. I was like, I'm going to get on. They'll probably not ask questions, but I do see quite a few of them. So he may have to wait a few moments once he gets here, if you guys are like really, still asking questions. Okay. So this is the best I can do on TikTok because you can't really, it's like this instead of like this. All right. So splitting this. All right. We're going to go. Okay, wait, I have way too many of these open. Okay, let's just do this one. Copy, and we're going to go over here and paste. All right. Now we're going to go through some things for print and cut. So I need you to give me a check or say, yep, that I'm good on that part. I did that. So we'll figure out where your issue is. Okay. If you're saying your cuts are off. First things first, your page size needs to match the size of the paper that you are using. Your page size needs to match the size paper you are using. So we're going to come over here and I'm just going to go plus. With the plus, if you're using the 15 by 15 mat, it's kind of, if you're not using something super, super big because it actually only goes 14 inches wide, which is so weird. It's called a 15 by 15 mat because you really only get 14 this way. Now you do get 15 this way, but there's only 14 here. It's kind of weird to me. All right, so you're going to set your mat, whatever size paper you are using. You wanted to use it for EcoSolvent. I'm not sure if you are using an 8.5 by 11 sheet, if you're using 13 by 19. If you are cutting down your vinyl, you have to be precise in how you cut it down because registration marks are going to print in a certain area. If you cut your vinyl up incorrectly, it's not the exact size. It's not a straight edge. As it feeds into your printer, it's going to put your marks in the wrong spot. If it picks it up wrong, it's going to put your prints in the wrong spot. I'm not sure which printer you have. Even if you have like a 77, a workforce printer, if you're using one of those, I highly recommend using the rear feed for it and just make sure that it's nice and straight. Okay. Here is a tip that I will give you guys as far as cutting your things down. You want to put your vinyl in, like, you know, I mean, not put your vinyl, put your paper on your, put your vinyl on the mat. You want to go over to your preferences. Under defaults, right? You want to have cut to edge of page selected. Cut to edge of page. That needs to be selected. And then we're going to hit OK. And you'll notice my red line is going to jump to the outside, or you'll notice your red line jumps. If you're going to do, let's say you want to make the page 11 by 17. Okay, so we're going to go 11 by 17. You're going to make, oh wait, you can't do 11 by 17 on a 15-inch mat. So it's only going to be 15. I mean, if you're doing it, most of the vinyl probably comes 15 inches, which it really is actually 14.75 if you measure. It's not really a full 15. If you cut it to 11 inches, I mean, that should be there. So you really need already cut paper, not rolls. No, you can do the rolls, but you just have to be very mindful of how you're cutting it down. Do you have a 15-inch roll of media? Do you have a 20-inch roll of media? What size is your vinyl? If it is 20 inches, then you have to know like how to cut it down, right? So let's say you want to do 8.5 by 11. I'm just going to make it simple like this. Okay, so 8.5 by 11. If you end up cutting a piece of the roll off, so let's say you have the 15-inch, you're going to cut it. I would recommend, I mean, if you don't have a self-healing mat and you have like a clear acrylic ruler, you can see it. Best thing that's for you to have, if you don't have it, get you a rotary cutter, get you a self-healing mat, and get you a clear acrylic ruler. Cricut has one that's really great because it's nice and long, it's clear, and it has like a little handle on it. I think that's what my mom has. That's going to be the best. And you want to get a rotary cutter. So yes, that could be my problem. I have 15 and 20-inch rolls. Okay, so let's say it's the 15, right? I would recommend cutting it to, let's say, 12. Like, so you'll have the 15-inch, right? And you're going to cut it to, let's say 8 inches, because that will get, no, you want to cut it to like 9 inches, because that'll give you like a 12 by 15. I mean, a 9 by 15. So you're going to make a box. You're going to make that box 8.5 by 11. Okay. With your page set to 8.5 by 11, you're going to go center to page, because that's the size page we want, is 8.5 by 11. You're going to go center to page. You're going to take your principal vinyl, that is that 15 inches wide. You're going to cut it to, like I said, you can probably cut it to like 11.5 or 12. It is going to be some wasted media. You're going to lay that on your mat. You can even let it go past the line. You're going to let the Cameo cut a perfect 8.5 by 11 cutout sheet. Whether it cuts all the way through or not, as long as you see those lines, you can go with your rotary color and you can cut it down. It needs to be an exact size. Some people say, oh, I'll put my paper on top. Well, if your paper moves when you go to cut it and it cut into it a little bit, your registration marks are going to be off. So you have to have it cut to the exact size. If you want to use 20 inches, you're going to have to use a 24-inch mat to take advantage of like the full space. But your printer only prints 12.95. So some people say, well, I got it because I wanted to be able to do 13 by 19 prints. And so they want it. That's why some people get the Pro, because they want to do 13 by 19 prints. Well, with a 15-inch cutter with the Plus, you're only going to be able to do at the most 12 by 24. So if you have the 20-inch roll, you can cut that to 12 inches wide. but you want to be very, very, very careful in where you cut it at. That's why I said having a nice size self-healing mat, having a longer ruler to make sure that it does not move. Your cuts have to be precise for this size paper. So let's say you're going to go and do a 12 by, well, you say you have the 15 by 15. So the most that you will be able to do is like a 14 by 15. You can't put a whole, you can't cut a piece to be 15 by 15. Well, your printer can't print that anyway. Which printer do you have and what size sheets are you trying to do? Let's back up a little bit. What printer do you have? On average, what size sheets are you trying to do? I'm gonna let you answer that, and I'm gonna go to the knife question. So let's say I wanted to, without contouring her, I just wanted to split her in half. I'm gonna do 2 here, okay? If you were to use your knife tool and just go across and split, it defaults to a thicker size. I'm gonna, if you notice here, it puts a gap. If you were to try and line this up, it is never going to line up because you are missing a section. It will never, ever, ever line up if you just use the knife tool. You can see here where everything is off, okay? What you do is when you go to your knife tool, you're gonna come up here to the top and it says auto apply. You're gonna uncheck that. Once you uncheck it, we're going to try and get in the same section, which is about here. And I'm going to go across, which let's go up some about there. Okay. You're going to then come to your line tool. And right here, it's telling you it defaulted to 0.85 thickness. That is huge. May not seem like a lot, but when you're cutting, that is huge. In older versions, you could not go smaller than 0.1 or 0.1. You couldn't go or 0.01. No, 0.1. It was, you still had to kind of have a little bit of thickness, which is why I don't teach. If I'm splitting this and let's say I wanted to contour her to cut through here, I don't use my knife tool. So here, I believe now, in previous versions, you could not do 0. 0 meant there was nothing there. There was nothing for you to cut. So if you made it 0, let's see if it cuts. You'll make that 0. You'll click on the line and then you're going to hit apply. So I think it actually did cut it this time. Yeah. So you now in version 4.3, it allows you to do 0. So again, you're going to create your knife. Auto apply is not checked. It's going to make it where it's 0.85. You're going to make that 0 and then hit apply. And it will cut it. But that was a part of like the 4.3 because in the other versions, you couldn't do that. And like in my oversized print and cuts, I teach them how to use the draw polygon and then subtract and crop. So hopefully that helps you, Tamiko, in simply just changing the size of it. Can we hit the thumbs up to say thank you for this free info? Thank you so much, Ms. Cheryl. Hello, I'm just coming on. What are we talking about? I'm answering all things or all questions, business related, silhouette related, sublimation related. It's up to you. You decide what we discuss in this session. Yes, it's a live Q&A. She says, just take their day training. It explains it all. Explains all of that. Exactly. Hello, incredible evening. I would love to know more about EcoSolvent if you don't mind. Okay. Do you have any specific questions? What is it about EcoSolvent you want to know? I am enjoying the class. I have time booked to play this weekend. Awesome. Awesome. Muscle memory. Yes, you have to build that. I'm on my second go round for that class. Does it matter where files are saved with Silhouette? No. So if I'm designing something, so let's open up something that I've actually like full on designed. As you can see here, if I'm designing something, I save it as a silhouette file. I have a WD My Cloud so that my hard drive doesn't get, bombarded and filled. It's always good. And of course, it's a backup. I'm not worried about losing my files. So when you go File, Save As, and you save to your hard drive, you decide where that's going to go. Your OneDrive, your Google Drive, your Dropbox, your regular C drive. If you have an external, if you have a USB, you're going to choose hard drive so that you can then choose that USB. If you have an external hard drive, you decide where you're going to save it to. I save pretty much all of my projects. I save them all to, what's on my brain? To my hard drive, which is technically to my WD My drive. If I save anything to the library, it's going to be like templates, things that I may have to go to often. So a lot of my templates are there. Of course, patterns and backgrounds I save there. I have my Samantha font glyph guide that's there. And of course, anything that I purchased from the Silhouette Studio design store, that's in there. But I don't save my projects to it unless it's something that I know that it's my base and I'm going to start from it. Most times it's just templates, but it doesn't matter where it's saved at because you're just going to go File, Open. Let's see. This one was always pretty cool. I was looking for this tumbler right here, but that's not the full file. So I don't know where that tumbler is at. Wanted something that has like a lot of stuff on it so you can kind of get an idea of what you can do in Silhouette Studio. So let's see if this one will open. All right, so she says, okay, you're trying to do 13 inches. So 13 inches by 15 and then 13 by 20. Is that what you're trying to do? All right. Oh, no, that's not the one I wanted. I mean, it's still a good file though. So just so you guys can kind of see, like, I don't know what happened with these. Some of them flipped, but it was for some baby shower shirts. So she was the sister. They did these like really cool photo shoots. So each sister or each person, I had their picture on it. So using the ultrasound picture there, using it. This is if you have my yard sign template, the film strip is in there so you can see how it's versatile and you can use it for different things. So there's the film strip, this is filled with glitter, and then there's an outline, and then there's pink. This is compound path. So I'll show you like here, we're going to move, let's ungroup. Oh, I already cut it. Dang it. Okay. I'm going to ungroup because this is already cut, right? So we're going to come here. I'm going to fill this in with some color. All right. We're going to ungroup it. These will never have compound paths because there's no inner part. The E, if you right click, you're going to see release compound path because there's this middle part. This is a compound path. So if you end up releasing compound path, you have this part. You can change the color. Oops. Well, we can change that one and send it to the back. So you can change the color of them now, but you cannot make it a compound path. The minute you make it a compound path again, it goes away. So if you wanted to keep that color in the middle as a different color, then you would group it so that they maintain their properties. Now, this is technically a compound path. If I were to take this and put an offset around it, I want to create this look like this is, where it has nothing in the middle. So I'm going to just fill it in for these purposes. I'm going to make it orange. You see how you have that? Well, if I wanted to create an outline, I'm going to select it all and make it a compound path. Now it's an outline. Now this didn't do what it was supposed to do because it was not already. Okay, we're going to undo. I'm going to duplicate this. I'm going to delete my offset. Now I'm going to make this a compound path and put my offset on this, apply, and make that compound path. So I can show you the difference in these. Because of how this was set up when the offset was done. With this one, when I did the offset, this was cut out. So it gave me a shape on the inside. And so now I see this. When I did the offset on this one, the R and the middle part were technically solid. So it didn't give me a middle part to the R. So when I made a compound path, this just looks like one whole piece. Whereas this one, you see the outline. So you have to know how your file is set up, because the steps before determines what happens afterwards. That's why I keep telling you guys, you have to learn the program. It's so much more than just knowing something is a compound path. Okay, I explained to you what a compound path does. But if you wanted this outcome and you got this, and you don't understand why you have this and not this, you're going to drive yourself nuts. My class teaches you, why do you have this when you wanted this? Why do we have it? Was because we're going to release compound path on this. All right. Just make sure that that was there. We're going to move these. And see, now we've created extra pieces because of that outline. And see, I had an extra piece there. Let's kind of come from the bottom, and we can move you out of the way. All right. I'm going to select all of this, and I'm going to put an offset. And I'm going to hit apply and fill it in with color. If I move this, it's solid. It's never going to account for this. Okay. Now, if I were to take this and make it a compound path, take this and make it a compound path, guess what? Even when I come through here and I make it a compound path, I didn't do my eye. This is still solid. Now, if I take this one where it's already cut out, I'm not changing anything. I'm doing the same offset. Difference now is I now have cutouts in the middle of here. So how it was set up before determines what comes next. And you have to understand the program like that. And that's what I teach you. I teach you the why, not just the how. Okay, so let's see. Where was I at? I really hate to leave. I was getting so much help, but I got to go to work. I'll be sneaking on and off. Well, I'm about to leave. My husband come at 6:30, so he should be pulling up really soon here. Yep, there he goes right there. He is right on time. But join me on another one. I'll help you with more print and cut. All right, so let's see. I'm going to have to restart. I was going to ask about the BN20. Why can you only crop multiple images with the knife tool? Because you can't crop multiple things. It just doesn't work that way. It just doesn't crop multiple items at one time. When I send a 13x19 file to print on my converted 7720, it takes a really long time. Is there a trick to get it to transfer faster? It's probably because you have a lot of stuff open. Also, if you have your Wi-Fi set up, if it's taking a long time to print, then you may want to plug it directly into your into your computer, because it's the Wi-Fi that's really affecting how fast it prints. That's one part of it. Is once it goes from Silhouette, and if it's taking a long time, or from any program, it takes a long time to print, that's a Wi-Fi. That's a communication issue between your computer and the printer. So plugging it directly in will make it faster. If it's taking a long time to just simply spool it, to send it, that is a computer issue in how much memory you have and things like that. So if you end up having it's going really, really slow, take just the image and copy and paste it into a new window. And a lot of times that can help it spool and send a little bit faster. If you have a lot of stuff going on, you've got a lot of text, a lot of images, Silhouette Studio technically was not designed to to process heavy graphics. It really wasn't designed for that. So if it's heavy on the graphics, it's going to take a really long time to print. If you have like you're doing a bunch of stickers and they're all still in text format and you did not convert to path, it's going to take a long time to print. So it could just be how your file is set up. Questions like that, it really is best for you to kind of show me like in my Facebook group or even with emailing us what it is that you're working with. And I can kind of tell you, okay, yeah, it's probably X, Y, and Z. But those are a couple of factors that's going to affect how it prints. Hi, Dawn. Is there a guide for all these paper types and weights? They all serve different purposes, and there's different brands. No one person is ever going to be able to tell you about all the different brands and what the weights and what they're going to use them for, because people learn over time to use paper for different reasons. So there isn't like a major like universal guide. You just learn over time. Boy, bad. Is there a way to get Shakia to give a class I'm interested in before I go crazy? Classes will be back soon. I'm trying to split a design to print. Maybe I should tile it. So I did a class on that. I do have a free video on it. So if you're trying to tile it and you want to split it that way, you're going to use crop. Crop is going to be your better one, because if you're trying to, like, especially if it's for sublimation, to print it as one, then you're going to need to create some overlap. If it's something where you're just wanting to cut so you can butt it up against each other, you have to remember that it's not just splitting it in the program, it's the cutting part afterwards. If the machine is cutting it or if you are cutting it. And if you happen to cut a little bit off and there's some white showing, it may not line up and you may need to overlap. That's where my tiling class, or even if you watch the free video that's on YouTube, but you are going to have business edition so that you can design it all. You're going to basically do what's called flattening it by making it a JPEG or a PNG. If you have transparent pixels in there, you can't really do a PNG. You have to do a JPEG and then trace it, but it will be flat. And then you can follow my video for creating the boxes and overlapping them and then cropping them. So I have a free video, but I also have a full class where I break it down for you completely. And there is actually an easier way to do it, but I only teach that in my class. I purchased a new computer and I can't retrieve my old info. How do I get my license key? I have the business edition. So you're just going to go to your Silhouette America account. You're going to go to silhouetteamerica.com. You're going to log in. You're going to go into my account and you scroll down. It's going to give you your license key. It's always there for you. If you are using the newer version of Silhouette Studio 4.4 or 4.5, you don't even need your license key. All you have to do is go help, activate. Once you put in your email address and your password, it's going to automatically pick up that there is a key stored on your Silhouette America account. It's going to activate it for you. If you're using 4.3 or older, you're going to go help, upgrade, or activate, upgrade, or whatever it says. It's going to ask you for that 16-digit code. It's going to ask you for your email and your password. You put that in, it will activate it. That code is always in your account. Always. Your license key is if you have Designer Edition, Designer Plus, or Business Edition. You can use the link that's in the description of this video under my helpful links, and it'll take you over to a site where you can go and purchase that. So if you have any of those upgrades, how you activate it, nothing changes. You don't re-download a program. All you do is put that key in. Based off of that key, it tells Silhouette Studio which tools and functions to unlock based on the level that you have purchased. There's Designer, Designer Plus, and Business Edition. Aw, thanks, hon. Finally, after 3 years, awesome. What is the equivalent to flatten? So saving as a JPEG or a PNG. You can't do it without, there's no function to just go and make it flat. You have to flatten and Cricut in order to do print and cut. You don't have to. Your file can be an SVG. It can be in all these different parts and you can still print. So that's why Silhouette doesn't have a flatten, because it's not required to simply do print and cut. Cricut has it because that's how it tells it that this is a print. With Silhouette, you can print whatever is on your screen. So if you want to flatten it to do things like just make it one file where it's not so top heavy, or to be able to do cropping, like, to crop it out, you would go File, Save As, and then when you save it to hard drive, you're going to choose in the drop down JPEG, PNG, or even PDF. Welcome to Gym City. All right, I'm going to put my shoes on because somebody's going to get all huffy with me. So I told him 6:30, and he really got here at 6:30. Like, dang. Hey, just say. Good afternoon. Is there an inkjet printer that you recommend for printing 24 or larger? And how important is to have more than 4-color printer for a large vehicle? So, I mean, you can, so for something like that, there's a difference. So now it's two different things, because I almost gave you an answer. Like if you just wanted to do, like, let's say banners, or if you wanted to do bigger printing cuts, then Epson has one. It's basically the F570, but it just has regular pigment ink in it. But now if you're trying to do window decals, you have to now go into a eco solvent printer. The Roland BN20 does 20 inches. Once you go past that, you got to go to the 30, or you have to go to the 40, whatever, 48. So then that's the Roland. Those printers are going to cost you. The Roland BN20, which is a 20-inch printer, you really only get about 18.75 print space. That is going to cost you $6,000. The VG 30 something, whatever, 33 something, it's going to cost you about 15. And then the VG 20, oh God, I can't think of the name of it. It's like 6,000, 10,000, 20, 6,000, 15,000, 20,000. That's how much those printers, if you're trying to do printed vehicle decals. You cannot just use a regular pigment ink printer to print to actual vinyl. It has to be a solvent, eco solvent, or latex printer. I'm partial to Roland's, but Epson does have solvent-based printers, and Roland has them as well. All right, so hi, Professor. Thank you so much for the demonstration. I've enrolled in your Silhouette for Beginners course. Yay! You guys can click the link in my bio, the description. Head over to the website shop.hsink365.com to enroll. Now, I'm not going anywhere over here. Yes, I have a Roland. I'm going to answer all of your questions. Because I can take my phone with me, I will still be on TikTok. If you want to go over there, Shakia the Professor at Shakia the Professor 365. I know someone asked about eco solvent over here. My husband will kick my behind if I'm not outside. I will answer that question over on TikTok. If you want to kind of come over there, and I'll answer that question. I will table that one, but I do have a video. If you want to go, you're going to search Silaholics. No, honestly speaking, eco solvent. What's the hype? I break all of it down for you. But I don't think she actually came back on and said what she wanted to use it for. She says, yes, heavy on the graphics, did not convert to path. Awesome tips. Yep, see, those are the ones. All right, so incredible evening. And ooh, I did pretty good. Y'all are done over here. So real quick, since there were no more questions, eco solvent, a lot of people are using it for things like this. If you convert an Epson printer, you can do printable vinyl. You can do, printable HTV with a converted Epson printer. You're going to print it on there. You're going to use your Silhouette Cameo, your Solo, your Juliet, your Cricut, even though it's small, to cut it out. Or you can get a true eco solvent printer. The cheapest one or least expensive one is a Roland BN20A. It's a little bit less, only because you can't get white and you can't get metallic with the A. It's only CMYK because it's two magentas. But the one I have the metallic system, and they also have white. So if you're wanting to do like printing onto clear, clean, or if you wanted to do, let's say, like on clear to do the removable sticker, stuff like that, you need the white in order to be able to print with that one. Anything clear, if you're not going to print on clear, you don't need it. If you're going to print a lot of white, because your material, your vinyl, your adhesive vinyl. If you're wanting to do wall decals, car decals, and things like that, then you will need, I was trying to find mine that had on there, you will need an actual Roland printer or eco solvent printer in order to print to vinyl. I had some stickers. Oh, here we go. In order to do things like this is not sticker paper. This is vinyl. This is permanent adhesive vinyl. It can last, will hold up if you have it outside. wind, rain, all of that stuff. It will last years and years and years. There are certain ones with UV protection, so it won't fade, but this is not something that you do with a desktop printer. You have to have a solvent, eco solvent, or latex printer. So I'm not sure if that kind of answer, if you're looking more, if you were asking more so on the lines of the converted ones, go watch my video on that. I have a whole video about that. All right. So it's very expensive to get a printer like that. We have the Roland BN20. Now, if you want more questions answered, I'm about to head over. I'm still on TikTok. I'm going to stay over there, but I got to go because that man outside waiting for me. I told him 6:30 and it is now 6:40. All right, y'all. Until next time, have a great one. I look forward to seeing you guys. I am doing, why am I bending down? I'm just going to go ahead and raise y'all up because I'm like bending down like this. I am starting to do like some bonus content. There is a program that's going to come up. I'm not going to teach the 30 days all over again. That was a lot, but you will need to have that for the next level of training that we're doing. Even if you think you know Silhouette Studio, it is going to be a prerequisite that you must have my 30-day training, because if something comes up and you don't quite understand it, I don't know what you know. I don't have time to kind of go back because we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of designing. You guys can't make money off like make good and start getting to, like y'all like to say, the bag off of the basics. So my 30-day training is going to be a prerequisite. You can get it now, you can get it later. If you get it later, right when my live classes start again, you're going to be behind the curve because you're going to be completely lost and going to feel like you wasted your money, because I'm going to get into it. We're going to do a little bit of refresher. I'm always trying to do videos so that you guys can see designing and how to pull all those tools together. But if you don't have that foundation, I can't help you. So no matter what, going forward, like I said, I'm not teaching it like that from the beginning, but we will take certain days and have like a day for tracing. And we're going to focus on like some tracing, different files from what's in the course. Just so that, okay, hey, we're going to have a tracing day. Here's the file. Let's do this together. I liked when y'all tried to challenge me on that one tracing day. That's how that's going to go. But you got to start with the 30-day training. You got to go and enroll in that. And that's going to be the prerequisite for it. When I drop the next one, it's not even going to be visible on my website. It's going to be hidden. It's only going to be available to those who are actually in the 30-day training. All right. So I got to go. Until next time, have a great one. Continue to unlock your creativity and be incredible. Peace.